We are live. What is going on, everyone? Welcome. Appreciate you all being here. Everyone trickling in at this time. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day. Spend with little it does. Anybody that's watching this on the replay, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. What's going on, Jake? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
We
I need a win so bad tonight.
we need it. We do. We definitely need it. Hopefully, we
Desperately.
can squeeze that out. But yeah. What starting off? What did you think of last night's performance?
Yeesh. Um, mm, a lot of takeaways. A lot of takeaways. I think like it was a good game. I do. I wanted everybody to step up more. And when I say everybody, I don't mean like every single person. Like Westbrook did his thing. I think Westbrook was okay. Anthony Davis was okay. But LeBron though, he just doesn't really seem like he's all there. I think if LeBron would have had a normal game like how he normally has, when like how he normally plays, I think we would have won that game. Um, I we got see the thing is like we made the like corrections of the mistakes we've been making all season, right? So like we didn't really get out rebounded too bad. I don't think we only got out rebounded by like 8. We shot 42% from the 3 point, so that wasn't horrible. We did have a few more turnovers, but it wasn't like a huge mistake game. I just think we just don't have enough people contributing right now. And I think that's the biggest issue. Not knocking down shots. Although, like I said, we weren't bad from the 3 point line. But I think that's what it is right now. You have a couple people like Nunn and people, well, excluding Nunn, but
None.
you have a couple.
I mean, he started and he
Yeah,
was still terrible.
yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't even want to like touch on that anymore because I feel like we beat that with like a dead horse. Like, there's something up with it. I just don't know if like what's up with his performance. Because the thing is, like, we know he can play. He's not a scrub. You know what I mean? But just I feel like if we had more like contribution from our bench, and it's so funny because I feel like every time we lose a game, it's always besides the first few games that we lost in the season, it's always a different story, right? So like this game was like the first time I really truly think we lost just because of contribution. Like people, like
Second half was rough again. I mean, we looked great in the first half, and then
yeah,
again fall apart in the third quarter. Anthony Davis, though, too, man. Like Anthony Davis can't have 2 and 3 point halves, especially
yeah,
in the second half. That's the problem.
yeah,
Like we've had back-to-back games where Anthony Davis, he'll give us 16 in the first half and then put up 3 in the second half or 2 in the
yeah.
second half. He has a whopping 0 points in the last 3 games in the fourth quarter and has only taken 3 shots during that stretch. That's terrible.
You're,
Or three shots average during that stretch.
if
That's
you had a
terrible.
guess, why would you say that is? If you had a guess,
Um, I don't know, to be honest. I think it's a combination of things. I think one, it's the Lakers not feeding him the ball the way that they are in the first half, and like the game
yeah,
getting carried away. Um, and I also think that that's also part of the third quarter struggles because
yeah,
when you dump the ball down to AD and you let him go to work, and he's able to do that and generate those buckets, you're controlling the pace because the pace is
yeah,
going as fast as he's going. Um, so I think that hurts us. I also think it's just Anthony Davis not being aggressive during those
yeah,
stretches, during those times. I think that's also a big part of it. You got to demand the ball. Like when
yes,
you're
you do,
down
yeah,
low, like Shaq is a great example. Give me the fucking ball, like stop. No, you're not going over there. Come over here. Give
yeah,
me the ball. Sometimes you need that demand. Sometimes you need like, oh, so then, because especially in the flow of the game and stuff, you're trying to find the right play, this, that, and the other.
yeah,
You see the guy's hands there, but you also see 10 other hands there. You need, give me the ball. I'm right here. Give
yeah,
me the ball. So he needs to go get that ball,
yeah,
and I think that I think it might just be, because he's dealing with like little nagging injuries and stuff. I think it could also
yeah,
be, he's he's loose from pre-workout stuff like that, prep and stuff like that, and then he gets into the game. He looks great in the second half. He goes in the locker room, kicks his feet up, relaxes, talk and listen to everything when he should probably instead be on a bike, pedaling and stuff. He's got to. I don't know. They got to figure something out because he's not. He should be dominating, and he's not. We'll see how he does tonight because there's no way if he has even a 10-point half, we're probably in trouble. He's probably gonna have to have several, just dominant games and moments. But what do you think about?
You think
LeBron?
we should? No, really quick. I was just gonna say, do you think we should change his minutes in the first half? If it's like the wear and tear, what if we play him a little less in the second half so we can get that what we get in the first half, so we can get that in the second half? I'm talking about just by a couple minutes.
But the minute, like if you look at it, the half chart minutes, it's pretty much the same. It's not much different. He's actually playing slightly less minutes in the second half, I believe. Not by much.
No. I'm just saying, I know the minutes balance out, but what if we took his first half minutes and just diminished him? And the thing is, who are we gonna replace with him though? You know what I mean?
That's the problem.
Right now, we don't have anybody to really step in from. And the thing is, he's in the crucial moments. That's what's hard about it too. I feel like.
Yeah, it is. It's a rough spot to be in, for the Lakers. But I was just saying, what are your thoughts on LeBron not being here tonight, not playing? Well, we have LeBron and Walker not playing, and Patrick Beverly, but LeBron's the big headline, right? So
Walker, I can definitely do without. Or sorry, excuse me. Whoa. Let me correct my. Sorry, Beverly, I can do without. Walker, I don't. I hate to see it. I really do. I hate to see it. I wish Walker could be in. LeBron, though, however, I'm actually very interested to see this because I do feel like at this point right now in the season, while he's contributing, I feel like he's almost sleepwalking out there. You know what I mean? I feel like he's playing basketball, but his mind is either somewhere else or he's not really here yet. And I don't blame the guy. I mean, the guy has been to I think he holds the record for the most consistent finals appearances back to back. Bill Russell might be ahead of him. Don't kill me in the comments, guys. But I think that because of the wear and tear on his body from going to the finals so many times over and over, season after season after season, I don't know. He just might be in a funk. I mean, and here's the thing: we can't be too hard on him because all the stars go through funk. We've seen it with everybody. We've seen it with Jordan a little bit, but we've seen it towards the end of his career. We've seen it with Kobe. You know what I mean? It's just I don't really think we can be too hard on him, but I will say though, I want to see some games without him because I do feel like they're too heavy reliant on him. And that's all really. I feel like it would be a good change of pace. What about you?
I like it. One, it allows LeBron to rest up because that's something I was even saying over on the Stands Lakers channel. I was saying, we could really use LeBron taking a week off.
Yeah.
Let him, because he's dealing with some bug. Let him get over that bug. His ankle injury. Let him get over that ankle injury, and then see. Because could it be father time? Sure, but I've said it before. A lot of the things that he's doing, it's more decisionary things than his just skill set. We've seen him put his head down and get to the basket, stuff like that. I think it's more of just he's got several things going on at once, and that could be it. And I think him taking a step back and allowing himself to kind of heal right, that could be good. But also it allows or forces guys to now have to step up, right? The role guys have to step up because now you don't have LeBron James. And for role players, it's easy to fall into this pattern of oh, LeBron's on the court, let him do it. Let him handle it. Let LeBron take care of it. And you see that time and time again. You'll see players just kind of standing around and seeing what LeBron's doing. Where now you don't have that to rely on, so you got to go make the play. You got to go get the bucket. You got to do a lot of those things. And so hopefully guys will step up and play well, and then LeBron can rest. And then when LeBron comes back, hopefully it gets those role players to continue, and they kind of like, get them out of their funk, right?
Yeah.
Because we're shooting so poorly right now. But maybe if we have all these guys sit out, maybe now that, I'm surprised Russ isn't starting. Oh, they're going Nunn, Reeves, Davis, Gabriel, and Brown tonight. Interesting. So they went with Gabriel over LeBron instead of putting Russ in.
I love to see Reeves starting, and maybe this is what Nunn needs. I'm not mad that Nunn's starting. Maybe this is what he needs. Maybe this is the spark.
I wasn't mad the first game, but he was terrible. Like, that's the problem. Like, it did nothing. And that's my concern too, is like, if that happens again, we might be in trouble.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm worried about this, the scoring of this team, but we're about to find out in a minute.
How do you feel about Reeves starting?
I don't mind.
I like it. I love that.
I don't mind it at all. But yeah, let's say hi to some people in the chat before we get into a couple of the other stuff, because I want to talk about the Spurs. Lakers are in trade discussions now. Jake looking like the guy who pulls the coaches back to the sideline in the NFL. Walk far out. Oh yeah, the ones the ones that keep the coach from getting fined. Dude, I would love that job. That person's probably getting paid like $1 million a year to just stand there and just make sure all he's doing is just like tapping the coach, pulling the coach in.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is funny.
Yeah, he's probably saying because the polo. Sorry, I didn't have time to change before stream, y'all.
Front row view. Tyler, the content creator, and Jake from State Farm talking Lakers sounds like a viral video to me. It sounds like that's what we should start naming the streams.
I got it. Next thumbnail. I got you.
Next thumbnail. There you go. I close my eyes only for the moment, and the moment's gone. We're all just dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. What's going on? How you doing, Snorlax? Appreciate you being here. I'm doing well. What about you, Jane? How are you?
I'm good.
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
What's up, Ben? Appreciate you. Leave him alone. Rob has to do something literally today. 2-8 after today, and season is in a disaster. You can't wait any longer. He waited long enough. We'll dive into that in 1 second. So hang tight, Angel. Cut none. Seriously, they need his contract to trade. Y'all see Turner and Hill tonight. I haven't checked on it, but they've had pretty good games lately. They've both been pretty solid this season. Thank you so much. Yes, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, don't forget to like. It really does help us out, especially that likey button. What's going on? LeBron James is just forcing his shots and just shooting himself out of a slump. He's stat padding for the record. It's what it kind of looks like at times. Potentially missing bad decisions, forced to trade. His bad decisions cost us wins. Yeah, I don't think he's intentionally trying to lose games to force a trade, because there's no guarantee that trade isn't happening. He's got to be stuck. But I do think at times, like when we're losing pretty badly, it does look like he's like, just let me go get 30 real quick to chase Kareem. I really do feel like that at times. But
there's a conspiracy out there too that like he's shooting more threes because he knows that like percentage wise, if he shoots X amount of threes per game and he makes X amount of threes per game, and he's gonna reach Kareem in a faster way without having to like, yeah, exactly, without having to get injured and things like that. There's like a little conspiracy out there. I don't know that I buy that. I think there's some truth to it, maybe, but I don't. LeBron. Yeah, I get it. He likes the record breaking, and it would be huge for his career. He's already shattered some major records, but I don't know that he's doing that. That seems just a little stretchy. But
I think personally, this is just my thoughts. Personally, I think it's number one. What Rich said, number one. LeBron James is just forcing his shots and just shooting himself out of a slump. That's what I think it is. I think he's in just a shooting slump, and he's just trying to shoot. Shooters are going to shoot type thing. You need to, once you see the ball go in, hopefully you can knock a couple down. That's my guess. That's what I think it is. I just think LeBron's shooting so poorly. He's hoping, like, maybe if I can knock down 2 or 3 of these. Not just that, but like, if you look at LeBron's like career, he's a very streaky 3-point shooter. So like, when he shoots like 36% on the season, what usually happens is like he has a month where he'll shoot like 20%, and then like the next month he'll shoot like 45%. And he just keeps doing that all year long, and then it just kind of averages out to like 34 to 36%. Like, I'm serious. Like, if you go look at it, like, that's what, like, if you look at his charts over the years, that's literally what happens. He's like terrible shooting the ball, and then he just starts making a bunch, and then he's terrible shooting the ball. It's like he's a very streaky shooter. Very streaky.
Tip off. Here we go.
Really called out tonight. I just want a trade to happen. Russ has been playing great off the bench, but I still think it would be better to trade happen, whether Russ trade or not. Yeah, we need a trade regardless. Why is everyone hating on LeBron for the Kyrie BS? Because he like called out Kyrie, I guess. I mean, if you watch the actual interview, he mentions Kyrie, and then for the most part, after like the original statement, everything else that he's ranting about, he's speaking general. Like he's not like, oh, Kyrie this, Kyrie that, Kyrie's this, Kyrie's that, Kyrie's this, Kyrie's that. No, it's more general. It's like, oh yeah, this and then that.
I missed it. I'm gonna have to go watch it. I didn't see it.
I actually have it on the Lakers channel.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, real quick, before we get caught up into the game and lose track of everything, So the Spurs and the Lakers have officially began conversations per Spurs reports. Here, I actually have hang on, I'm trying to multitask here. Something happened to my TV. There we go. So the Spurs, let's see. What was exactly said was, according to a source, the Los Angeles Lakers have targeted Richardson and McDermott, Josh Richardson and Doug McDermott, in a trade that would involve Russell Westbrook. However, talks haven't gained traction because the Lakers are only willing to relinquish a pair of second-round picks in return for both players. Now, obviously, that's just the initial stage, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you go into negotiations, you're not going to give your best offer up off the bat, right? You're going to start down here and then eventually, meet in the middle. The Spurs want this, you want to give this, you guys meet somewhere here, right? That's usually how this goes. So, Josh Richardson, he's still young, 28 shooting guard, got good size, got good length, 3-and-D guy. He's been great for the Spurs this year. He's had a couple 30-point games off the bench, all that stuff. Doug McDermott, 40% three-point shooter, solid, not great defensively, but he's got good size, 40% three-point shooter. And it doesn't say that they're going after Jakob Poeltl, but I would ideally like that. Now, if they were to trade Russ for McDermott and Richardson, they would get about a 21.2, I believe, basically a $21 million trade exception. So they get both players and they get a trade exception, which they could use the trade exception to go trade for another player. On top of that, or alternative to that, they could go and get Jakob Poeltl on top of Richardson and McDermott, who is a center, young center, a guy that could get you 20-10 a night. You could get that, and then you'd still get like a $14 million trade exception that then you could go use to go trade to get another guy. So basically, with the Spurs, you could turn Russ into 3, maybe 4 guys. Do you like the Spurs trade of getting, basically a 3-and-D shooting guard, a high percentage 3-point shooter? A lot of people want Buddy Hield. Doug McDermott doesn't shoot the volume, but he still knocks down at a reasonable clip. And then you have, are you okay with just those two and a trade exception, or would you like the center as well and maybe move AD to the 4? What are your thoughts?
I see. I would want the center because I don't think just getting the other two really are going to do anything for us other than just switch up the team, get new looks, and get new vibes. I don't really, you know what I mean? Because so we got a 3-and-D. Okay, potentially that's what we're supposed to have in Patrick Beverley. You know what I mean? So like, if he comes to the Lakers and performs like a Patrick Beverly, it's like, okay, what then? Because like, Patrick Beverly's supposed to be that 3-and-D guy, you know what I mean? But like, look how he's playing with us for this season. I don't think he scored over 10 points in the last 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 games. So it's like, you know what I mean? And we got Matt Ryan, we got Reeves, which I know these aren't historically great 3-point shooters, but we have some people who could potentially be really good 3-point shooters. It's just for whatever reason, there's this thing that when people come to the Lakers, they just don't play their fullest potential, and it's weird to me. So it's like,
Especially
you know, I
shooting.
just don't. Yeah, at this point, it's like it's hard because it's like unless it's a proven star caliber play. I'm not saying like a Kevin Durant or anything like that, but just someone who is solid enough to really make an impact, like an AD or an AD ish. You know what I mean? So, but if we got the center, that would be good because then at least we would add size, shot blocking. It would only improve our defense than what we are now. Because if we do lose Russ, we're going to lose a little bit of our defensive edge. So we'll gain a little bit of that back. So if we put the center and got maybe if we could squeeze another player, 4 players out for Russ, yeah. But if we just do the 2, then I don't like that because like I said, I think you're honestly just replacing what you're supposed to have now. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You're basically replacing Russ's production with 2 players. Like I guess that gives you a little more depth, but like you're still getting the same.
And Russ is playing great right now. Not to mention that Russ is playing now. Now the thing is, it's not like he's had one game. He's had 2, 3, games where he's been consistent and contributing. He had 28 points last game.
In my opinion, he's played well in every game except for one. There's been one game he played really bad, and then he missed one game.
Yeah.
Outside of the game he missed and the one game he played poorly. I mean, the Warriors game he put up 19. He almost had a 19-point triple-double. These last 4 games that he's came off the bench, this is now will be 5. He's played great. So, assuming how this goes, and so you add one poor game, there you go. And then you have the game where people were upset and feel like he lost them the game, but you can make the argument that he kept them in the game. Up until that point.
Because right now people cannot make the argument that we're losing because of Russ. That was the argument in the beginning of the first 2 games maybe or whatever. But I don't like people right now, like the fans cannot honestly sit there and make a statement and say that we are losing because of Russ. If that is anybody's opinion, they're not watching the games. Obviously, you know what I mean. They're not paying attention to what's going on.
People just like a scapegoat, though. Like that's the thing.
But it's just not true, though. It's just
it's not true. When it comes to now, the narrative is shifted for us. It's crazy how much it's changed. Even Russ is getting MVP chance, and stuff like that. The narrative has just completely changed with Russ. But
the Russ haters are quiet. Super quiet.
Yeah, absolutely. The problem is it's one extreme or the other, right? Now we're seeing LeBron's washed, he sucks, trade him. It's always one extreme or the other. Look, you don't win games on one person, you don't lose games on one person. Obviously you need your stars to play well, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But Russ could put up 50, 50, 50. Have a 50-point triple-double across the board and we still lose. That's not Russ's fault. You know what I mean? And same thing with LeBron. LeBron could have a 40, 40, 40 game and lose, and that's not LeBron's fault. It's a team sport for a reason, and it takes all 5 guys. But to bring it back to the trade real quick is when the Lakers, I don't want the Lakers to trade Russ just to trade Russ, right? We need to do something. We really do. We need to do something. But we can't just trade Russ because he's arguably been our best player the last few games. So,
and that's the thing. Why is it even him on the chopping block? You know what I mean?
Because he's the only one that we can really trade to get several guys. And even right now, so we can't trade. We could trade Patrick Beverly right now, but we can only trade him individually. So, for example, let's say we wanted, because we could technically do the Pacers trade without Russell Westbrook and just trade Patrick Beverly and Kendrick Nunn. We wouldn't get a trade exception or anything, but we could literally trade Patrick Beverly and Kendrick Nunn for Jakob Portal, who's the center, and Josh Richardson. and just do an even swap out like that. I mean, obviously you'd have to give up picks or whatever, but you could do an even swap like that. Problem is you can't do that deal till after December 14th.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Is right now, if we're going to do a deal now, the only way we can do one is by trading Russell Westbrook. But you can't just trade Russ to trade Russ, and because we could get worse. We could be worse. I know, as silly as it sounds, because we're 2-7, it could get worse. We're still at least in games, and we're playing solid stuff like that. But it could get a lot worse. We could trade Russ and all of a sudden start getting blown out every game, right?
Well, we could, and plus that's going to happen if we trade Russ for 2 mid-tier players. Like I guarantee you, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Because you're not going to get the consistency that you will from Russ.
Well, and the productivity, the energy, the hustle. Like Russ brings a lot to the game that, I feel like we've taken for granted. And of course, he's playing good now, so everybody's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Well, I'll be honest. Before the season started, I wasn't feeling Russ at all. But then I waited, saw preseason a little bit, but then I came around. You know what I mean? I've been pretty consistent. Because he's shown this season, I'm never going to believe that he can't do this again. Let's say he falls off in the middle of the season. I'm never going to believe that, he can't come back up to this productivity. You know what I mean? So it's not I mean, I don't, Now, the Spurs trade for me is not ideal. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, again, I don't want to trade Russ unless it's for several guys, not just one or two. It has to be several guys. Because you're right. Because, I mean, if you trade Russ for, say, Richardson and McDermott, they have to play extremely well every single night, and they're role players.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Where Russ, he's proven his whole career he can play to a certain level, right?
Yeah.
Well, Josh Richardson, yes, he can go and get you 30 on a night, but he's also a guy that could get you 9 a night, and that's not going to cut it. So unless you're getting, if you're getting Jakob Poeltl, Josh Richardson, and Doug McDermott, plus a trade exception, I'm okay with trading Russ, because now you get a center that you can start, that's 2010 guy that can play next to Anthony Davis. You're getting a 3-and-D shooting and Josh Richardson that could be your starting, a more traditional 2-guard for you. You could go and trade and get Doug McDermott. Now you got another shooter that you can start or come off the bench. And also what it does is it allows everybody to fall back into their natural positions, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about it here on this channel. I've talked about it on my channel, my other channel, is that, you have guys like Walker who are they're not supposed to be your 3rd best player. They're supposed to be your 5th or 6th best player. And so when he gives you 15, it has a huge impact. Where right now, if he gives you 15, it does nothing. You're still losing. And it's damn, why? And it's because you have your guy that's supposed to be your 5th guy having to play your 3rd guy. So if you get a deal like that, everybody kind of gets to fall back into their natural positions. And you likely get more production, you get more depth, you get all that stuff. You get some starter caliber players. Because the problem is we lack starting caliber players. We have a lot of really good players, but no starting caliber outside of LeBron, Westbrook, and Anthony Davis. This is the Anthony Davis we need. He's looking good today. But if we did this deal, that's great. And then we'd have a trade exception to go get a 4th piece. That could really help. So I like the deal, but it's got to be for the right one. They're going to have to give up a first. Like I said, this is just, hey, it's the first negotiation. You're never going to give your best deal. And so right now it's just McDermott and Richardson. Spurs want to give up, want a first. Lakers don't want to give up a first. The compromise, I think, will be Jakob Poeltl. I think that'll be the compromise. I think it'll be a first and maybe a second for Richardson, Poeltl, and Richardson or McDermott.
Yeah, and with Yaka too, that increases not only our height, but with height comes rebounding. And I don't feel like we would be getting out rebounded a lot. It would happen here and there, but with him and AD, even with Russ is a monster rebounder too. Like Russ, well, sorry, we would give up
Well,
Russ.
you get rid of her,
have
yeah.
Russ. Yeah, we would have Russ, but
It's the best.
LeBron, AD, Yaka, you know what I mean? Like our rebound, I think would probably, if not get better, at least, you know, we wouldn't lose, you know what I mean? I think it would improve. And I think that's what we need to, because we need to get these guys second chest points, you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, I agree, but I just, like you said, for the right pieces, so not, yeah. Just don't, like you said, don't give Russ away, just for peanuts. I don't. That's not.
Yeah. If you were to bet, if or when a trade will happen, do you think it'll be this month, next month, or next year, or no trade at all? Katie, personally, I think depending on, it comes down to what team cracks and when. Most likely, I think the safest bet is that a trade happens after the 4th of December or the 14th of December, because after the 14th of December, all of our players and most of the players in the league now become available for trade and aggregation and stuff like that. Did Russ just make another three? Oh no, it was two. I was like, damn, boy's killing it.
It looked
But
like it was a three.
I thought it was two, but I was also looking at my peripherals.
This little back and forth we got,
Yeah.
is just pretty interesting.
But yeah, I think that personally, let's go, Russ. Look at him. But yeah, personally, I think the most realistic bet, it'll be next month. I definitely think a trade happens. I don't think it'll be no trade at all or next year. I think it happens. I think we'll get something done this year. And it might not even be a big blockbuster trade or anything like that. We might not even trade Russ, but I think we end up doing some move, whether it's Beverly and Nunn for somebody, or it's Russ for somebody, or it's all three for, 5 or 6 guys. That's what I think ends up happening. Oh, while they call it
so are you, so even with tossing, like going back to the whole Kyrie point, and I know it's almost but even if you were, so you would rather get 3 or 4 versus just like a one player. But if it's a Kyrie, do you like kind of like, is that an exception?
Right now, I would not trade Russ for Kyrie. Like even if, like, say right this very second, the Nets called the Lakers and said, "Hey, we'll just swap you Kyrie for Russell Westbrook. Like, we don't want anything, just even swap, and we'll throw in, whatever. We'll throw in Joe Harris, right? Because salaries have to match, right? So, like, let's say they do that. I wouldn't do it because Russ, you know what you're getting right now. You know what to expect right now with Russ. Kyrie is such an anomaly. And look, I've been on Kyrie's side for this whole situation, what's happened for the most part. I'm
shocked even hearing you say that you wouldn't do this trade anymore. I'm like, wait, whoa, turn of events.
Well,
wait, what?
Well, because my thing is that, like, the whole Kyrie situation that's going on right now, look, whether it was right or wrong for what he posted, I don't know. I've said this a million times. I've never watched the movie. I've never read the book, so I'm not going to speak on that. But what I have seen is a witch hunt over that situation. So, and that I don't agree with. There's right and there's wrong. The punishment has to fit the crime.
Yeah.
Like, he fucked up. Okay, fine. He fucked up. Apologize. Move on. Society, quit crying. Move on. Let the man apologize. Like, what does somebody have to do to get people's forgiveness? Like, like that's the problem that I have. But the unknown of Kyrie Irving, because as much as I've defended Kyrie Irving, he's still a very unreliable guy. Right? When it comes to
not only unreliable, he's unpredictable too.
Yes, unreliable and unpredictable. And so I've always said, I don't care what he does outside of the game of basketball. I don't care what he says. I don't care about any of that stuff. As long as you go out, you get me buckets and you get me wins, that's all I care about, because it's none of my business what he does in his personal life. I could care less. I'm a basketball fan. I'm a fan of the Lakers. I care about what is he doing for the Lakers. That's all I care about. I don't give a shit about anything else, right? Like, if he believes
Well, that's the way the league should be, though. What you just said, sorry, that's the way the league should be.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But, like, the problem is we live in a world where that's not the case. Like, people can't separate art from the artist. Like, and I can't. Like, I can not, agree with somebody. I cannot like somebody. I'm not even talking
You
about
have
Kyrie.
to.
I'm not
Like,
even
you
talking about
have to
Kyrie
separate the
specifically.
two.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general. Like, I can not like somebody and still be like, man, that was a banner album. That was.
Are
That was
you a Michael Jackson fan, for example?
yes, like his music. Yes, yeah,
Like
exactly.
to me that's like the perfect example. Like
Yeah,
I love his music, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Regardless of you know what I mean? Like the art from the artist, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. There's two different things. Like so, and that's my thing. But he is unreliable, and that's my
well,
concern.
you
At
don't
least
know if
with
he's gonna show up to work. You really don't.
exactly.
Like
You don't know if he's gonna have something else go on and he's just going to disappear for 2 weeks and not tell the
yeah.
team, which he did to the Brooklyn Nets. Like, that's my concern. Now, if Kyrie, if the Nets do end up buying out Kyrie Irving and then the Lakers have an opportunity, I would sign him at that point because one, he's now a low risk, high reward type player because he's going to be on a non-guaranteed vet minimum deal. I mean,
Yeah.
Kyrie might be the best vet minimum deal ever, like literally.
No, really. No, really.
But if things go south, you can
Yeah.
always just cut him. You can just waive him and you don't have to worry about it. There's no where if things go south.
Well, yeah, you're
with
not
Kyrie
tied to
Irving,
that contract.
yeah. Well, if things go south with Kyrie Irving, he's making $36 million and he's supposed to be your third best player. You're in trouble, right? Like now you're in big trouble. But
Yeah.
if we could just get Kyrie, yes, I would take Kyrie 10 times out of 10 times. I'd take him 7 days a week, including Sunday. Like, give me Kyrie Irving. Because at that point, the risk isn't worth it. And at that point, you could make an argument it makes the most sense to trade Russell Westbrook. Because now you didn't trade Russ just to get Kyrie. You already have Kyrie. Yes, you could run Russell Westbrook and have him as that sixth man, which I wouldn't be against. But
Yeah.
it might make more sense to trade trade KD for, say, the Spurs trade. And now you just got an entirely new roster that without LeBron James and Anthony Davis could probably be a play-in team with Kyrie, Josh Richardson, Jakob Poeltl, Doug McDermott, and then the 15 other guys that you have on roster. Like now you have like a legit squad. Add LeBron James and Anthony Davis, now you probably have a contender.
Yeah.
But to go and trade for Kyrie at this point, I would not do it. I would. And the only way we could trade for Kyrie Irving at this point is to get rid of Russell Westbrook. I can't. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah.
Especially if he continues this rate. Like you even look at this game. Well, we only have 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And by the way, he came in with 8 minutes, like at the 8-minute mark. So like he's like, yeah, he's not really starting, but like in games like this, he's coming off the bench quick. But not what I was saying is that like even in games like this, but I do agree with you. I don't know that I wouldn't see. I don't know. That's tough. I can't say that I wouldn't trade for Kyrie, but like looking at the way Russ is playing right now, he's only looks like he's improving every game, right? Like he looks like he's getting better and better, getting back to that Russ that we know every game, but he's just doing it within the Lakers, system. So like, I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. Even this game, like he's doing great already.
Yeah.
I think he's hit what like 2-3 threes.
Yeah, I think he's 2 of, let's see. He's 2 of 2 from 3-point range. I know he's really been knocking down. He's been their best 3-point shooter the last like 4 games, which is crazy to think about. Leave Russ alone. Duh. Yeah, I'm with you. Nasty drop set for me. Yeah.
I know which one he's talking about too. That was nasty.
Happy. Pop hates the Lakers. I don't see him helping the Lakers. I don't care who reports they're talking on a deal. I will leave it when it happens. Look, I completely understand it. It came from the Spurs. It was the Spurs head reporter. So it's not like this wasn't a Lakers thing. This is their thing. But like I even said in that video, like, look, Pop has said one time 8 years ago that he would never do business with the Lakers. It's easy to say that when you have, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and you're winning championships. It's easy to say I would never trade with the Lakers. Now you're a tanking team that wants to go and get Victor Wembanyama and it's just a different place. And you can get some free assets out of it. Why wouldn't you? Pop's not stupid. He might hate the Lakers. He might not want to hate the Lakers, but he's not an idiot. You know what I mean? If he has an opportunity to do what he wants and get what he wants, he's gonna do it. He's
business
helping
is
himself
business.
more than he's helping the Lakers. They just call it offensive foul on Gabriel. Damn it. First negotiation. Meanwhile, the season is going to be lost. Fire Rob. Like, it's not Rob's fault. He can only do so much. Would you guys be open to a rebuild if we miss the playoffs this season? Yes. Like if we
Absolutely.
yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would be totally fine with trading AD, LeBron, everybody, and blow it up.
Matter of
Problem
fact,
is-
Rich, it's a must because we've tried this for enough
Yeah.
time to see that it's not working. You know what I mean? Like
the problem is, what can we get is the big thing, because you
Yeah.
can't just trade them and blow it up just to trade and blow it up, because we don't really have any of our draft picks. But like if we could get a nice return for Davis and a nice return for like LeBron, my biggest concern is trading LeBron. I don't know who would trade for LeBron, because next year he'd be 39 years old. Not only would he be 39 years old, but if he is starting to decline, then who's going to give up a bunch of young talent? Like if this was 5 years ago, you'd probably get a playoff team immediately trading Russell
for the revenue they might. Like LeBron's not going to go to like no scrub of a
That's
team,
the
but
problem is a playoff team. Like what playoff? Because he's not going to go to some scrub team. So what?
no, that's what I'm
playoff
saying. He's
team-
not.
Yeah. So what playoff team is going to trade for him without giving up stuff that's going to make them not a playoff team? You know what I mean? Like, so say Cleveland. Like Cleveland might be a contender right now without LeBron. Are they really going to risk blowing that up? Because you have to match salaries, and a lot of their guys are on like small salaries. So you'd have to match salaries. You'd have to unload probably 3 or 4 key players. You might be better without LeBron on like currently. Which
Not
is
to
crazy.
mention, you're on this hot playoff run. You're Cleveland.
Yeah.
You got to rechange your entire organization again because LeBron is coming to town. You know what I mean? Like when he comes to your organization, like everything changes. Like
Yeah.
you have to like model your basketball play style to him. You have to change your offense to fit him. You have to change your D. Like everything changes when LeBron comes to a team. So like I do agree with you. If it's a team that's like on a playoff like stretch, no, but a team that just needs like the revenue, the fan tickets. Of course, I want to go see LeBron. Like I live in like Charlotte or something. Like of course, you know what I mean. Like yeah, or I live in like New Orleans. You know what I mean. Of course, I want to go see LeBron. But I do agree with you. You kind of think revenue or playoff potential championship.
Yeah,
So
that's the problem. Like I could see some like middle of the pack team maybe trading for him, but you're probably not going to get very good assets. Is my concern.
yeah,
Always. I love the way Westbrook has turned it around, but Kyrie is way more of a fit and what we need at the moment. I would take the risk, especially if we could pull off a shooter like Seth or Harris. Look, I completely get it, and look, Kyrie, Kyrie is a better fit. He's a better player overall, and like I agree with you. Oh wow,
Russ is balling his mind out right now. I'm sorry.
Wow.
And Jordan Clarkson, like that and 1-3 that I don't know if you saw, but that and 1-3 he just got a few. That was crazy. Like, yeah.
Damn. But yeah, like I completely get it.
Oh, and Sexton. Oh, don't even get me started.
My problem is that we could be worse. Like, you know, like the only thing is I think Kyrie would buy in and ball out immediately. It's just like my concern is how long? Say we could do that trade right this second. My concern would be that Kyrie for the next like 3 months balls out. He's great. Say we go like 20-2 in the next 22 games, right? And it's like, man, we completely turned the season around. We're like a top 3 seed. Like everything's great. Like we look fantastic. And then Kyrie just like is like, I'm gonna go take a month off.
Yeah,
that's my concern. And like, what if he does that in the playoffs or something like that?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, like in a crucial like. And the thing is, it's not. We can't. You can't say, "Oh, he would never do that." Like nothing is off the table at this point. Not with this man.
And that's my biggest concern is that like he's so unpredictable that if it works out, great, but if it doesn't, we're screwed. And who's to say we're that much? I do think we would be. Let me preference that. But who's to say we're that much better with Kyrie Irving over Russell Westbrook? Right? Like, let's say we're slightly better. What if we still lose? The problem is we have no way out now. Where at least if you trade Russ and you get several pieces, at least you kind of have your core. And then worst case scenario, you ride it out this year. You go sign Kyrie next year for like, $10 million because nobody's going to want him. And you get a good deal on Kyrie. You have all these role guys. You basically have your team intact, ready to go. Sign Kyrie on a prove-it deal. And now you're like probably a legit contender. Where this year, if you don't, you could end up being screwed. I don't know. And you have no way out. That's my concern. It's the same reason I don't want to do the Pacers deal. Is because if the Pacers deal doesn't work, you have no way out. And that's my biggest concern is like, what's the worst case scenario? Best case scenario, if we get Kyrie Irving, is we're automatically a contender and we win a championship. Worst case scenario is Kyrie implodes this team and we're worse than we were without Kyrie. And now we have no way out. That's my concern.
And you got to think too, like you taught me this, like numbers don't lie. So like, what are we really trading for at the end of the day? You know what I mean? So like, if we're trading for what, maybe like if we're basing off of Russ's play right now, let's say he continues to average 25 to 28 points a game. What are we really trading for? Maybe 10 Kyrie on this season. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm very curious. So like maybe if not the same, just a little bit better because Kyrie's not balling out of his mind this year.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think some of that might just be.
Then we lose rebounding. We lose a rebounding point guard.
That's the issue because that's the problem. Like so, like Russ this year right now is averaging regular season. He's averaging 16, 6, and 6 with 1.5 steals and half a block. So he's averaging, basically 15 points in 29, 30 minutes. So he's averaging, but he's shooting 42, 43%. So he's averaging slightly less than his average. But wait, is that right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's averaging, like I said, just under 16 points, 6.1 rebounds, 6.1 assists. Let's say Kyrie can give you with this team. Let's say he can give you 25 points. So you get 10 extra
consistently
points.
Or
I mean,
Kyrie's
Kyrie.
Well, no, he can do that.
Kyrie's
he can
a better
do that.
scorer, like any.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not trying to.
Scorer.
Yeah.
So he's gonna. Let's say he gets you 25 as opposed to 16. But how many rebounds is he gonna get you a game?
Exactly.
How many assists is he gonna get you a game?
Another one.
Like that's the thing too. So let's say let's do a comparison.
Look, Russ just got another rebound.
Yeah. Good ball movement. Look, you're doing too much, man. Oh, good shot, but you're doing too much. Here, let's do Kyrie Irving. So let's take a look at this. So Kyrie this year is averaging 26.9 points. So let's call it 27 points. He's averaging 27, 5, and 5.
So 10 more points a game.
So he's average. So you basically get, if you swap Kyrie for Russ, you'd get an extra 10 points a game. He's only shooting 28% from 3, which is crazy.
Horrible.
Really? Yeah, he's shooting worse than Russ from 3.
Well, he's never been a really great 3-point shooter. Not for his career. No.
He is bad. He's shooting terrible. Yeah, damn. I didn't know he was shooting that poorly from 3. But anyway, so
don't even think about it, Matt Ryan. You hit 1 3, and now you want to shoot threes out of your mind. He was by the logo. He was like pump faking it. I was like, no. You know what's funny? That next game after he hit the 3, I swear he came out and tried to take some I was like, bro. I mean, hey, ride the confidence, but
ride it on. Just got a line ref gave this game to Utah. Jordan Clarkson 3-point. Yeah, it's rough. BS call. I'm with you. LA, we're already short-handed. Ref gave Utah the game. Yeah, how can they compete? It's tough. Tough right now. Not looking good right now. Russ comes off the bench and his 3-point rating becomes 99. I'm here for it though. Yeah, I know, right? Seriously, like this dude has been our best 3-point shooter since he came off the bench. This dude has been amazing.
He's a much better. I wonder if he's kind of like motivation. I wonder if he's like, all right, y'all want to bench me? I'm about to show you guys why you don't bench me. But like, I don't know though. Or is he just in this team? Is he just a better? See, it's hard to gauge. I'll be honest with you because like I'm not necessarily convinced that he's a better player off the bench. I do think it's because
the thing is, he's still playing starter. They bring him in like immediately.
That was
like,
my point. I was like, he came in at like 8 or 9 minutes, like in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but he does that every game, dude. Last game, he came in at the 10-minute or at the 9-minute mark and played the entire first quarter. He finished the last. So I mean, it's not like they're sitting him till like the midway point of the first and then pulling him out or then bringing him in or something. Like no, it's like. So I mean, it hasn't really made a difference.
You know who I would love to have on the team is Sexton. Man.
Yeah, Sexton would be nice.
It's the energy. You know what I mean? It's the energy that I like.
Do you know he has one of
We need someone to match Russ's energy. We really do.
Do you know Sexton though has the second worst plus minus in NBA history?
In this season?
For somebody in his first 4 years or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was terrible with the Cavs. That's why the Cavs wanted to get rid of him. He's been good for Utah, but he was really bad with the Cavs. I know. Like,
I think he's slowed down a lot, and I think he's kind of matured a little bit. Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
his play style.
The thing is though, is I know a lot of people are going to look at it and think,
bad pass.
I know a lot of people are going to look at it and go, yeah, but he averaged like 22 a game or something like that. Like, yes, that's true, but he sorry, I got distracted. But that doesn't mean that he was effective. He wasn't very effective in his points. He just didn't have anyone else on that team. So he was able to shoot 30 times a game. Yes, he is.
Look at Susano trying to be a LeBron chase down
Russ. Russ is keeping it. I know the danger of trading Kyrie is if he doesn't fit, we don't have any assets trade. That's my biggest concern is if it doesn't work, we're stuck, we're screwed. Since when was JC this bad? Yeah, right. He hasn't been. This is an anomaly.
Honestly, like, you see, I'm telling you, people leave the Lakers and they just turn like, even Ball got better after he left the Lakers.
Yeah. Assuming we don't control. Yeah, that's not terrible. Ainge accidentally built a contender, right? Seriously, Danny Ainge went and tried to tank and built a better Jazz team, which I think is funny.
Yeah,
the problem is he's
going
to regret it. He's going to regret it in like 2 years when he ends up being a playoff team and ends up getting like the 20th pick this year, and he could have gotten Victor Wembanyama or something. And on top of that, he this team is just a middle of the pack team the next 3 years, and he just wasted 3 years of this Jazz team. Like, that was a terrible decision.
Because this Jazz team does not look bad, not at all.
No one's gonna stop the ball. Let's go. Layup for Russ. Steal and score. Let's do it, Russ.
Right.
Russ is trying here.
Easy.
Russ is trying.
Well, easy. How many points does Russ have this game? Hold up.
I don't know. Two questions. He's got to have like 12 points. Something like that. 12, 15. No, let's see. He has 16. He has 16 points. So
what is he leading the team right now? Scoring?
Yeah, he's 6 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He's got 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and only 1 turnover. So that's good. He's not turning the ball over. He's playing well right now.
The only other player that's really scoring for us is AD, but he's out. And Troy Brown has 7. But
yeah, I mean, hey, look, right now we're kind of we're staying afloat right now without AD. They just that second foul really hurt us, man, because AD was balling.
Yeah,
AD was looking good.
He was,
but I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, any last parting words before we skate on out of here and go enjoy the rest of the game?
No. Let's not do the Spurs trade, please. Let's not. Let's wait it out. Let's see what else comes to the table. And I mean, I get it. I don't want us to be 2-10 without doing a trade either. But I feel like if we make a decision right now,
it's got to be the right deal.
Exactly. If we make a rush decision right now, it's not gonna play out well for us. It's really not in this season anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Any deals out of panic are usually bad deals. So something to keep
Yep.
in mind. But anyway, everybody, thank you all so very much for hanging out with us. Don't miss the post game show over on As It Stands Lakers. I always do the post game show after the game, so I'll be there for this game. We'll talk about this. Hopefully, we're talking good things. Hopefully, we get a win, but it's looking rough right now. But nonetheless, we appreciate y'all so very much for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. Tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell a dog, tell whoever, and we appreciate you. We will see you.